Marina Bay Sands shop right now, and then we're gonna head over to Gordon Ramsay's Bread Street Kitchen for dinner. Check out the amazing dragon display. So last week I went to Singapore. We went there for a super short trip. I flew out on Thursday. Unfortunately, our flight got delayed 2 hours. So we literally arrived at like 12, and by the time we got back to my auntie's place, it was like 1 a.m. So really, we arrived there Friday, 1 a.m. And so yeah, Friday morning, woke up and my grandparents came to pick us up because I had to go do some paperwork, pick up my passport, do my Singapore ID. Yes, I'm still Singaporean, so I have to do all these boring things. But first stop, we went to hit up this place called Yakun Kaya Toast. Anyone who's in Singapore, anyone who's Singaporean would be super familiar with this place. But yeah, Singapore is super well known for their breakfast, which is half-cooked eggs, kaya toast, and things like that. And this is one of the go-to places. So I'm going to roll the reel that I made of this place. Enjoy a classic Singaporean favorite while still hitting your goals. I headed to Yakun for breakfast, and they sell their signature eggs with kaya toast. Coffee is essential, and you know I wanted my ice long black, but here is how you order it in Singapore. You have to say kopi o kosong, and it definitely hits different. Here is the star. So we have half-cooked eggs, which I always normally eat. I guess it's similar to poached eggs. You put some soy sauce and some pepper on it, and then of course you have to have their kaya toast. It's so thin and crispy, and kaya is basically coconut jam. It's so delicious. I just ordered mine without the butter. I know people are cringing. The butter is definitely one of the best parts, but to save calories, I didn't have butter. I just dipped it in my eggs. It was still so delicious. I highly recommend. Comment below if you try this. Obviously, I was still trying to like somewhat balance some healthy meals, still get a little bit of like fitnessy stuff in, but I also obviously still ate a lot of like very not so good things as well. But for lunch, we had some chicken rice, which is something that I always eat here, but this one is different. The Singaporean chicken rice is definitely way fattier, but you can still find a way to make it a little bit healthier. So we're gonna roll the clip of how I made it a little bit healthier. Hit your protein in Singapore with this local favorite. If you're in Singapore, you have to have their chicken rice. You can basically find a chicken rice stall in any hawker you go to, and then choose from either the white or the brown one. For the lowest fat, highest protein option, make sure you ask for the breast meat. This whole thing costs only $3.50. Can you imagine? The chicken came without the skin, which is perfect. Otherwise, I would have just removed it myself. And even though this is breast meat, it's so juicy, so tender, the sauce was perfect. And the rice is a little bit higher calorie than regular white rice, but it's so delicious and worth every calorie. It is a little bit oily with a beautiful aroma, and the best part of this whole meal is the awesome chili sauce. There you go, a delicious high protein meal in Singapore. Comment below and let me know your favorite Singaporean dish. And then that night, we headed over to Marina Bay Sands, which is the most iconic, beautiful place in Singapore. Obviously, we went to stay in the hotel my last trip in Singapore, so we've already been there, done that. We didn't stay there this time, but we went back to my favorite Gordon Ramsay Bread Street Kitchen restaurant. I went with my family and we celebrated my cousin's amazing A-level results. He literally got a perfect score. I couldn't be happier. Future lawyer in the making. So proud of him, and I had a great time with my family. On Saturday, I thought it was time to train. So I headed down to HIIT PT to visit my good friend Gloria. She let us in. I did a really amazing leg session with her. We also had coffee together. It was really nice to catch up and still get a really good session in whilst I was on holiday. Obviously the day before I also had a quick little upper body session, but this one was a really good solid session. We pushed hard, it was really fun. So every time I travel, when I try to keep it as balanced as possible, I try not to like train too much if I have a lot of things on. Like I said, this was a really short trip and I had a lot of things planned. So I'm glad that I managed to get like one really good solid leg session in, especially legs since that's my current focus. And then that night I headed with my family over to the night safari. So this is the one touristy thing we did. Obviously growing up in Singapore, like I've been to night safari many times when I was like really young, but it was like really nice to go back there again with Jeremy and like again with the rest of my family. I've never been there with my brother or my cousins, so I had a lot of fun with them, and I love animals, so it's always so much fun to be able to see the animals even though it was really dark at night.
Can't even see. Oh, it's a bit brighter here, yeah. Just wider. That looks so close. That was not even close. That was just like...
And then on Sunday, I got some really good body work done. I went to Gracie AJ, who was a judge at one of the shows that I did. So the last Singapore show that I did, he was judging there. That's where I first met him. And then now he's organizing a bunch of shows. I saw him again when we were in Vietnam and he was just organizing. And this time I went to see him as a myofascial release professional. He really is so good at what he did, and I'm so glad that in this short trip I still managed to get my recovery in. My body felt so good after, and I'm glad that I managed to still do something that is somewhat fitness related, yet still kind of relaxing, yet still kind of social, because we got to chat for 2 hours and it was just so good. And I am just so lucky that he invited me to come down to do that. So thank you so much, AJ. That was an amazing session and you're so good at what you do. Monday was more family things, catching up with family, things like that. And Tuesday we were off, so it was like a super short trip. Luckily, I still brought my work with me. I still worked as per usual. I still obviously filmed some content for my Instagram and obviously film a little bit of clips for you. I know I didn't film that much this time, so I've been slacking a little bit on the YouTube game, but hopefully I was able to share a little bit of like the fun that I did have, and obviously with the 2 reels of like a somewhat healthy meals that I did have there, and kind of like share that with you guys. So obviously this trip was, I would say 50% still kind of health conscious and 50% just kind of like living my life. I still definitely ate lots of Singapore delicacies and obviously enjoyed a beautiful dinner at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. And the last place I had to hit before leaving at Jewel Airport is Shake Shack. I've never had Shake Shack, so this is my first time trying Shake Shack. again, unfortunately, my flights were delayed, so we got back to Perth at like literally nearly midnight. So it was a long travel day. The next day I slept for like 9 hours, and yeah, my next video will be just how I kind of get back on track after a holiday. Thank God I didn't do too much damage on this trip. So hopefully the 2 reels of like what I ate there and just, you know, things that you can do that doesn't involve food, like, you know, going to the night safari. Singapore is really amazing for the zoo as well. So if you do go there, you can find lots of activities you do that don't revolve around food. You can have a mixture of really delicious but high calorie foods, and you can also definitely make sure that you get your protein in and still eat some relatively healthy foods while you're there as well. Minimize the damage whilst you're there, but still have a really good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I am again so sorry that I didn't manage to film as much as I would like this trip, but I kind of saw that like my travel vlogs were just not as popular as regular fitness content, so I decided to give, you know, allow myself to just enjoy the time without vlogging too much. Honestly, I didn't do anything too exciting. It was just like a lot of time spent with family, and obviously I was still working quite a bit whilst I was there as well. I definitely still have spots on my coaching team, so if you are interested in getting coached by me, drop a comment down below, check out my Instagram, drop me a DM, send me an email, and we can talk more about how I can work together with you. I do work together with people from all around the world, and I would love to be able to help you achieve your goals. And things I do are also help people kind of stay on track on holiday, be there to guide them to make smart decisions, and then be there to help them get back on track once they're back in their home country. So again, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.